really see at night driving my Jeep with its original headlights. So I decided to make a purchase of much brighter LEDs for the Jeep. My 6-year-old joined me, and as soon as we came across the CAFOPAR rainbow halos, we couldn't resist. The headlights include regular headlights, brights, daytime running lights, and of course the rainbow halos.
Here's to you, queen, doing your thing. There's no way that you won't win. They can say what they wanna say, but it's your game that you're playing. So go and stop, girl, do what you wanna do. Run the world in tennis shoes. Make your mark.
The headlights themselves are much brighter than the stock headlights, and the fog lights add even more lighting. The lights come in a ready-to-install kit, which include this plug-and-play adapter. This plugs directly into the Jeep side, and this plugs into the new lights. The color halos have millions of color options and many movement options that can all be controlled through an app. We did have some hiccups along the way, but the seller was right there with us every step of the way, and we got these installed successfully and couldn't be more excited. I can say now that we have the lights installed and everything working correctly, I highly recommend these lights.
The headlights are installed and everything is working great. Let's download the app and see what these rainbow halos can really do. The app is called BADam.2. You can get it on the Apple or Android app stores. Let's get started.
Now you do have to connect this app using Bluetooth here. And once you're connected, you'll have full control. Pretty cool settings.
I need one.
Yes, it does. So that, folks, is just the beginning. So here we are at wheel. And the bottom lights are presets. And even though you can click on one and change it up here in the wheel, that does not change it down here in this bottom row. So here you can set different favorites in the top row. So the top row are custom colors. If you want to set every variation of pink and purple here, you can. So with the top row, the only real functionality is just setting a solid color, changing the brightness of that color, and you can make it flash, which I wouldn't recommend unless you're in a parade. You can see you have a lot of color options here. So you can customize the top row. Unfortunately, you're not able to use the top row in some of the moving functions. You can only use these presets down here. So let's go ahead and talk about those. This is the gummy worm. I wish we could change the names, but I don't think we can. If you add white to it, it gives it more of a Christmas look. Let's talk about the different modes you can have right now, just so we can kind of get a basic idea. So the first one is just essentially one color to the other color. This is flashing with a break in between. This is a smooth transition, I'm gonna wager. This one's a little bit more of an abrupt transition. Flashing for parades. These are my favorite, the color changing. And I do like, with the solid colors, you get a little bit of a different effect. Now if you do two colors, that's what you get. And I sometimes throw some white in there. This one's interesting. Now keep in mind, you can change a number of things in this screen and the previous screen. You can change the color length on everything. As you can see now, they're bigger blocks, or I can make it much shorter blocks, single, as few as single pixels there. You can also change, so we're going to change it to a medium length. You can also change the direction. Everything moves. And then on the previous screen here, you can change the brightness as well as the speed here. Looks like some Tetris action. Kind of cool. Going back. So every different mode can have different speeds, different color length, different direction, which the direction doesn't seem to be quite right to me, and different color scheme. So pretty cool. That's what happens if we change the color length here. All right. And this one's kind of more of a fade in and fade out. You can see the effect changing the color length has there. It's an interesting one. Almost get some Pac-Man vibe going. And then of course the red, white, and blue. So the next mode here is kind of cool. It's got the break of white in between. So then this seems to me like a good US of A one. Very cool. Oh yeah, baby. So as you can see, there are many options with these lights. A lot of fun. And you know, we want to change the color length. Almost infinite possibilities, really. Okay, so moving on. Can't show all the possibilities, but I can show many. If we move on to music here, I haven't really used this a whole lot, so let's see what we got here. I don't have anything good, looks like. Cha-ching, I don't hear anything. It's like an alarm. It's like, so you could do some interesting effects. Okay, interesting. So I guess these are stored files on your phone, and then you pick whatever. Can I change the name? Pick number 3 here, which is America. They're beautiful. So that's what stored files look like, depending on what mode and color scheme you have. 6-year-old's gonna come talk into the mic here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? So I guess if we have the stereo going, we could, here, let's try it, hold on. That's kind of cool. As you can see, the options are pretty much limitless. And you can have a lot of fun with this. Oh, one other thing here is you have the settings. Then you can also do a background here for the app. And the shake, I'm not really sure. I think the shake is a random. It'll just go completely random. So I'm not gonna test that. All right, so one thing I do want to point out is, let's do this one here. If you do this fade in, fade out looking one, and you do red, white, and blue, or red, blue, and yellow, the primary colors, you'll notice you get kind of a mix effect. You can see that in the lights. So you'll get some purples, you'll get some greens. It makes for a nice rainbow effect. Also, this direction, you know, these are going to the left. These aren't going inward, which I would expect from the 2 lights. But very fun, nonetheless. It does do a different effect. It's more like a fade in and out. Anyway, thank you. Enjoy life.